You know how we do this. How to fight going backwards. This is for when you are running away because you're overwhelmed and you need to create space and you're trying to get away from the person. It is possible to fight while going backwards. It takes a certain set of skills. There are some fighters who are better at it than others. Some people have more success. I sucked at it, so it never worked for me. I can only put my head down, go forwards, and hope that the person gets tired from beating on me. Cliff is a little more gifted, so I call him Cliff the Gift. He can go backwards, forwards. He goes both ways. So let's pretend for a minute that I am a devastating, scary person that Cliff does feel the urge to run away from. Just pretend. So I'm going to pressure him with punches. He's got a couple punches he's going to show going backwards.
So I'm going to start with the check hook. The check hook, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to push off of my lead and step my right. So here, he comes in. I'm taking the extra step back, and I'm throwing that hook. I'm kind of almost hitting him from the blind side. So watch. Here.
I feel like you shouldn't be hitting me now. You know what I mean? I feel like you're on the run.
Yeah.
And a lot of this works because, like, you start... it's a misnomer to say we're fighting going backwards.
Right.
We are going to show some techniques that are straight up moving backwards, but really it's about moving backwards and then, like, stopping and them impaling themselves like they're running into a spearman. And they're running into it.
Yeah. So you can either just kind of, like, push off, keep your lead here. If you're a taller fighter, and I'm going against a shorter guy like Ali would do, I would take that step back, keep this here, and throw the hook. Or if I'm a shorter fighter going against a taller guy, I'm going to take that step back and throw the hook.
And that also gives him cause to pause. You know, he's got to rethink. He can't just charge blindly ahead. Everyone always asks me, they're like, hey, do some videos for like how taller fighters fight shorter fighters. And I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? Like, what do I know about that? So it's a good thing for you tall people that Cliff is here. I mean, he's not really tall, but everybody's tall standing next to me.
Yeah, I'll create a turn. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm knocking them off balance. So if they're coming towards me like this, I will, like, it's not only just a hook, but it's more kind of like a push.
Because this is like a handle. You created a handle.
And also, too, if you see it, if you watch, sometimes I like to do this. I like to push that and then kind of go for the kick.
You're running them into it.
Yeah, make them run into the kick. So they're coming in. I can push off backwards, or I can cut that angle. Yep.
And now you're loaded up big. I have to turn to find you.
Right. So if you're a good boxer, here, boom, or here, oh, we go for the kick.
Ooh. But that's more about going side to side, which I'll link the last video we did up there where I said never run backwards. Mm-hmm. And I showed how to go side to side and pivot and whatnot. This is about that backwards. I want that backwards. That all the way backwards stuff. Like, what if I'm like, I'm bigger than you, so pretend I'm bigger than you, and I'm throwing a big right here. So, boom, boom. And you're pulling your head out of the way too, right? Boom.
Yeah, I'm just leaning back. I'm leaning back, but I want to still have this insurance right here. I still want to keep this right here. So I'm going to lean back on my rear leg. Here. Boom. And throw the kick. All right? Also, you can, if, for shorter guys, I do this too. Also, slide all the way back. So here, go.
Yeah. And did you get that smirk? Did y'all see the smirk he gave me afterwards? That's some bullshit. Like, that's what he does. So the guy be coming forward, he come forward, and he's like, boom, and he's like, you thought you was good. So you can hit somebody while they're moving backwards, and it can be surprising. I do something similar. Someone really is pushing in on me, and we have a course coming soon if it's not already out. So I'm kind of like telling on myself a little bit. It looks like not a real kick. It looks like not a thing that would happen, but it happens all the time in sport karate and taekwondo. And if you put some power into it, it can hurt somebody. If he's really coming forward and you hop backwards and kick like that. And in self-defense context, really like bear down on me, right? We're going low, right? In a sport context, he comes forward, it would be high like that. And if you look at our feet while we're doing this, come forward, right? Boom. I'm not jumping. It's not a big jump. It's almost like a slide, right? And when I go forward and Cliff slides back with the round one, just enough. It's just enough for him to get that pivot or for me to get my balance. That's all it is. You don't want to, we're not going to go like Yeah. That's not real. It almost doesn't even look like a jump to the bad guy. I'm coming forward. The punch, Cliff. Oh, that's miserable. It takes the breath right out of you. All right, but if I was coming too hot and you moved, all right, that's worse. That one's worse to me. I guess that's probably because he always hits me with. But you can go backwards. Another punch, this is when a guy really has you doing what's technically the wrong shit. If Cliff was really pressuring me and I started walking backwards, you would never do this, right? But you can take a couple of steps like that to kind of bring them in. If I want to lull him in and I start doing this, that tells him I'm screwed up. This looks like I'm not prepared, or I've lost my wits, or my feet aren't right. So if you do find yourself maybe pressured to where you feel like you need to take the step back, we're not going to go far. I'm going to go 1, 2, dig in, and let him run into that spear. I brought that nerdy medieval reference full circle right there. Setting my spear and letting you charge in on a guy on a big, never mind, right? Like a guy on a horse, they're charging, and you put the butt of the spear in your foot, and you put the spear in the horse, or the guy on the horse.
Like Braveheart.
Yes! That's the... Anyway. Boom, boom, boom. Come forward, right? Boom, bang! Make him really realize that, okay, just because he's moving backwards doesn't mean we're done. We have some other setups that we're going to, I think, do a project soon, like sparring trickery and that sort of thing. But we're also showing a few of these kicking principles in the course. I'll put a link to that down in the description below if you want to check that out. But if you want more fitness tips, self-defense techniques, gear reviews, as well as concepts and principles that make you hard to hurt, subscribe and turn on notifications.